Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This one is a little bit of a grey area. Introduced in 9.2.5, we're not entirely sure if it's a bug or whether it's intentional. Blizzard have been approached, but have yet to say one way or the other. So, for now, we shall say, use this at your own risk. Today we are talking at target macros. So let's get into it. Over the years, Blizzard have introduced a number of @ commands to be used within macros. They allow us to do all sorts of funky fun things. But before we go diving into macros, let's talk about the spell that's going to be used within it. And that is every single reticle-based spell. Now, target reticles are any spell that requires a big circle to be placed down before the spell itself will actually cast. Think of things like AMZ, Death and Decay, you can't tell I play a Death Knight, Wild Spirits, Effervescence, Blizzard, Earthquake, you get the idea. With macros you can use these spells in a number of different ways. To make life easier though, for this one we will be focusing on, let's say, @cursor for now. This enables us to simply cast our reticle spell wherever our cursor is located. To see how this would work, let's go ahead and create a macro. This will be a nice simple one for Earthquake. To start with, we're doing /cast because, well, you know, we're going to cast a spell. Then we add our @cursor in brackets, and finally the spell we wish to cast. In this case, it's going to be Earthquake. And that's it. Very simple macro. This now allows us to cast a spell without having to confirm the reticle placement. Saves us a little bit of time. But it still does require us to have our cursor in the correct location. Up until now, this is the best we can hope for. Blizzard have been very much against the idea of being able to use reticle-based spells like targeted spells. We can cast them on ourselves, as I've shown in previous videos for Death and Decay, but not directed straight onto a target. Think of a hunter being able to never miss when they throw a trap in PvP, or healing orbs popping up right at the target's location. Something like that was actually I want to say, was it monks back in Mr. Pandaria? But it appears that Blizzard may be softening on that. This is again where I say Blizzard have not confirmed one way or the other whether this is a bug, glitch, or something actually, you know what, they're okay with, and with their newfound embrace of accessibility, hopefully it is something that's here to stay. So let's move on to our @target, the big one, what we're actually here to talk about. In order to make this macro work, you need to use the modifier key. These are the Shift, Alt, and Control keys. It will not work unless the modifier has been set. So let's set this up, shall we? Now, first things first, we need to head into the WoW interface menu and then go down to the combat options. In there, you will see an option for self-casting called, it's called the self-cast key. Now pick any option that works best for you, that isn't none. With that done, it's time to head to macros. In this, I will be using the Alt key as my modifier. Simply replace that with whatever you've selected on that list. Now onto macros. Again, we wish to cast a spell, so we're going to be using /cast. Now we need to add our modifier. So it's open bracket, mod for modifier, and in this case I'm going to be adding Alt. Now there may be a time that you actually need to still be able to cast a spell without focusing on a target or on a particular mob. We just want to be able to throw it out there wherever we want, whether it's up on a chandelier or a roof or... oh god, I've done that word too many times. Let's say for instance you're on a sanguine week and your tank is kiting, you know where that tank's about to walk into, so you want to be able to place something just ahead of the tank. That's fine, we can do that. So we're going to add in another modifier as part of the same macro. Again, starts with another set of brackets. This time we're going to add the none or no mod. You guessed it, literally, which means we are not using a modifier. Then we will add the @cursor, same as we did in our first macro. And that is it. That is the macro complete. I will say, I know I'm going through these quite quickly. I have done an in-depth guide if you want to actually know how macros are constructed and what the various different modifiers, commands and things like that you can do. A whole big video, I'm not going to go through it again. What is this actually going to do for us? Well, simply put, this macro that we've created will cast our spell centered at our current target while holding Alt, or at our cursor if we are not holding Alt. So last but not least, let's actually take a look at what this is and what it can do in action and how good this is going to be if it's something that's going to stay. When I say in action, I do entirely mean on a target dummy. Trust me, you really don't want to see me playing an elemental shaman in a dungeon. So here we are in game. We're not messing around with target dummies, Grim, we're better than that. Come on. As you can see, our macro is all built and ready to go. The hashtag show tooltip is just there, so when you actually hover over the spell, this is our macro here, it will actually show you the name, mana cost, the usual tooltip that you see when you hover over a spell. You don't have to have it, but it is just handy to have there. Unfortunately, Earthquake happens to be one of those where we're needing to build... Ooh, easy for me to say. We're going to need to build up some Maelstrom before we can actually cast it. As you can see, we've got Earthquake almost available now. Boom, there it is. We just press the button, and Earthquake's there. No reticle, no at cursor. Literally, Earthquake just drops as soon as we press it. Okay, so we're going to do one more quick demonstration here, just so you can definitely see it's not dropping on the cursor or anything. I've switched my mouse cursor on, so you'll be able to actually see it now. This is my mouse cursor over here, and Earthquake still drops at my target. As I said before, I hope this is something they're going to keep. One, obviously for accessibility for players who struggle with using reticles. This is a huge bonus for them. I understand the issues that come up with PvP against PvE, but at least for PvE content, Blizzard, please make this an official thing. Make this something that people don't need to mess about with macros. They don't need to go in and set alt conditions on self and things like that. Make this something that's just easily doable in-game. And that is us done. Again, I will say Blizzard have not confirmed whether this is something that's here to stay, whether it's just a bug brought in by 925. So yeah, kind of still use at your own risk. But thank you for watching, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Laters, everyone.